Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of the Sulky Show on the eve of the BHRC National Pacing Derby. We've got a great weekend of harness racing to look forward to. There's Corbywood racing on Friday night, Tir Prince's Derby card on Saturday night, and a wonderful card at York coming up on Sunday evening. And we, at no expense spared, are joined by a man you could say is the Lester Piggott of British harness racing. Yes, Piggott did it from 1954 through to 1983. What am I talking about? He won 9 Epsom derbies. His first one was 54 and Never Say Die. His last one was on Tinoso in 1983. He won 9 Epsom derbies. I've got a man with us here who's lost count of how many derbies, BHRC Pacing derbies as well. It's the one and only Mick Lord. Thanks for joining us, first of all, Mick.
Thank you.
Is it 9 derbies for yourself?
I think it is 9, yes. Yeah.
You think it is?
I think it is, yeah. It might be 10, but it definitely is 9. Yeah.
Now, Mick, we're talking about the silverware here. This has come from Royalston, from Manchester. This is the official BHRC Derby trophy. It's the Manchester Trotting Club 1901 trophy. Now, you're not suggesting you were in the first running of this?
Not quite. No. Not quite. Very nearly.
But the main thing is, Mick, you've had your hands on this silverware, then we reckon 9 times. Talking about the Derby, first of all, Mick, your own personal memories regarding your Derby winners. Have you got any special memories? Any horses actually just stand out?
I suppose one of my favourite ones was Oakview Venture, just because we bred him. Johnny Gill trained him, and we went into the Derby. Not as favourite. I think it was Lyons Cherie would be the favourite that year. And when we set off, I was actually thinking, if I can come second, forget about winning, come second, and that would be great. And Stevie drove Lyons Cherie, and going up the backside, Stevie went for home for the last time. He went for home. It was at Tir Prince, and he would lead me maybe 20 or 30 yards. When he got to the top of the backside, the tail started going. And I thought, crikey, I might be able to get this. And when we rolled into the straight, I was sort of on the outside of him. He tired and I won. But if I hadn't seen a tail go, I would have contented myself in just trying to beat everything what was behind me. But that was special, really, just because we bred him. Yeah. It was,
and it's fair to ask you this question: what would be the classiest Derby winner you were associated with?
I think they've all really been good. I suppose I would have to say maybe of the Colts 5-star, just because he won everything, and of the mare's Shady Romance. You know, she was just coming into it. She wasn't really good as a 2-year-old. She had a lot of ability, but she had a few problems. Then as a 3-year-old, she just started to come to herself. The heat was at Tir Prince the previous week, and she won that really comfortable. And then in the final, it absolutely threw it down. Couldn't get the car on. It was just horrendous. And the field sort of went forward, and I stayed back. But the last half, really, she beat them easily. She really was an exceptional mare. I suppose another favourite would be Leckwith Baron. At the time, Leckwith Baron, he won the Sire Stakes. Then he won the inaugural Pacing Classic. The Pacing Classic was first came to be because Billy with Tir Prince didn't have a classic race, so they made the British Pacing Classic as a 1.25 miles for 3-year-olds. The size stakes was the mile, the Derby was the 1.5 miles, and the Pacing Classic was a 1.25 miles. Leckwith Baron won his size stakes. Then he won the Derby. It would be the first Derby at Wolverhampton Racecourse when it was first made, when it was on a proper 5x mile track. And then he went to Tir Prince and won the 1.25 miles. A phenomenal feat, really. I mean, it'll never happen again because the Pacing Classic now has evolved into 4-year-olds and upwards. But that's what it was inaugurated as. Yeah.
And
so,
are you still pro the concept that the Derby should be over 1.5 miles, just like the Thoroughbred Derby?
Yes, I am. We've got the Breeders' Crown and the size stakes and a host of other stakes races. And I think, I suppose, same as the Thoroughbreds, the 1.5 miles for 3-year-olds is a true test for the horse. It really is, like, you know. There aren't any lucky winners of the Derby. You can get lucky winners of the Breeders' Crown and the size stakes and other things because of things happening. But in the Derby, you have to be a good horse. You know, there are no excuses. Derbies are won by good horses.
And regarding the fillies nowadays, because obviously at one time the fillies were pitched against the colts and the geldings in the Derby. Now the fillies have their own race, the Oaks. First of all, are you in favour of the fillies being segregated?
Yes, I am. Yes, yeah. I have actually won the Derby with fillies, but as a rule, colts are too strong for fillies. They are, you know, and I am. I think it's a great concept. I think it just started a few years ago, didn't it? The Oaks. I don't know whether you would have something to do with the starting of it, but yes, the fillies are far better off kept with the fillies. They are.
Yeah, I mean, it is unfortunate this year. I mean, you know, that we've had to split the Oaks into 2 divisions due to number of entries. It's a combination of things. We're living through exceptional circumstances at the moment. What I can assure people now and supporters of the game that, you know, hopefully this will not happen again. It's going to be readdressed ahead of next year.
Yeah, you're talking about there being divisions instead of the final. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Can't have 2 Derby winners or 2 Oaks winners. You have to have a champion.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate that it is special circumstances this year, and I'm just pleased we're racing. So
Absolutely.
You know, it's great that we're actually having the Oaks and the Derby tomorrow. So it's great we're on. So that's fine.
Now we've got 5 colts in the Derby tomorrow. The short price favourite is going to be Matusius. I would say. Now it's amazing. We're talking about breeding now, Mick, and you know you take the broodmare Another Matty, who back in 2016 produced Miraculous, who won this, and then Meticulous, who won it 2 years later in 2018, and Another Matty responsible for Matusius in this year's running. I'm being presumptuous that Matusius will be favourite because it is a really good field.
I would think he will be in all.
Yeah. But in the past, Mick, you know, you mentioned another mare to me off air, and that was Tonda Star, who was responsible for more than one win.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure he won Stars Dragon, Andrew Cairns. Reed's Hasty Hall, and then there was Reed's 5-star. All called by Hasty Hall. No, the Dragon again. The Stars Dragon was a Dragon again called. The other 2 was Hasty Hall. all from Thunder Star. Yeah.
It's amazing how these broodmares can do this. And
yeah, well, she didn't finish there, did she? I mean, there's Rockstar and Star Quality as well.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, really good horses. But I suppose that's what top broodmares do. They keep firing them out, don't they? You know, so. But mentioning another Matty, the one you forgot was Titanium, and he never made it as a 3-year-old, but probably would have been up there amongst it as well, because he was a top 2-year-old of his year, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
Titanium. Yeah.
They always say it happens to the best horses.
Yeah.
Tragic, you know. Yes. But yeah, looking forward to the Derby tomorrow, with the 5 paces going 1.5 miles in the Derby. Now, you're not involved in the 2020 Derby, but you are involved in both divisions of the Oaks, Mick.
Yes.
Yeah. I suppose a catch drive, if you like, a spare drive in the first division. You're driving Stateside Duel. Yeah.
I keep looking away from you, Dad. I've got my tablet here and it keeps going off, but I've got the card on there. So, yeah, I'm not too good on this computer job. So, I've got it in front of me now. I've got the 3-year-old Oaks Division 1. Yes, I'm driving Stateside Duel. Lee Fletcher's driving, she's treacherous. So I'm presuming I'm maybe driving the second string.
What have they said?
They haven't said anything, but I'm sure Lee will be driving the best one. I'm sure he will. So when I'm looking at the results, there's actually not a lot of time difference in between them. They've both been 2-3. So, but I would think Lee's got his preferences for she's treacherous.
But then again, Mick, you know, let's not forget we're going 1.5 miles. You know,
yes, yeah.
We're going into the unknown here with these 3-year-olds.
Yes, we are. Yeah, but I'm sure Jack Food is training them both. Lee's up there, so I'm kind of sure he'll know which is the better of 1.5 miles.
Okay, right. We're writing it off then. We're writing Stateside Duel off.
No, I wouldn't write it off, but yeah. So there we are.
Okay. We're going to move on to a filly you know all about, and that's Reed's Romance in the second division of the Oaks for John and Greta Wright and the Mrs. Trains. Now, Reed's Romance is coming into this in good.
This isn't John and Greta Wright. This.
Oh, sorry, I do apologise.
No, it's John's son.
Oh, it's John's son, is it? Right.
Yes, yeah. John Junior. Yeah, he bought it at the sale, did John? He bought it at the sale. Just the reason John works away from home. He works in Devon, does John? But he used to follow Shady Romance. Wherever it was racing, he used to go and watch it and thought she was great. Then when she had Reed's Hasty Affair, he followed her. And he said that the first chance he gets to buy a filly out of Hasty Affair, he was going to try. And he actually, he tried to buy, because he was the underbidder at, I can't think what it was called now. It's her older brother, Reed's Shane Fletcher bought it as a colt, Acorn Trains. I can't remember what it was called now, but he tried to buy that. He was the underbidder of that. And then the following year he bought this. So, yeah, he always wanted one, so he bought one.
Oh, that's a great story. Well,
yes.
Reed's Romance comes into this in good form. You know, we saw her win the 2-horse race last week. And, of course, she was a classic winner as a 2-year-old, Group 1 Futurity.
Yeah, and I suppose she's got mile and a half winners in a maternal line. Shady Romance won the Derby, and Shady Affair held the mile and a half record for quite a long while. I think did she go 3-4 in a mile and a quarter as a 4-year-old? In a mile and a half, sorry, as a 4-year-old.
So you'd be pretty as confident as you can be, or shall we say hopeful, that the mile and a half will not hold any barriers to Reed's Romance tomorrow.
I'm hoping so. Yeah. I mean, a breeding says she will get a mile and a half.
Okay. Now,
the only thing I would say, I mean, she raced real good on Saturday.
Yes.
But I took her to Tir Prince for the North Wales 3-year-old, and I was disappointed. I don't know why, but I was disappointed with her. She never really acted at all. Whether her feet were stinging or not, I don't know. But I was disappointed with her the last time she went to Tir Prince. So.
And is it fair to say the one to beat tomorrow is Rainbow Rider?
I would say so. When she came here for the North Wales, she went 59, and I mean, I was looking at her back, but she looked to absolutely blowing. I've since seen her at Portmarnock in, I think it was the last week or a fortnight ago, and then the week after she won in Tir Prince, she went 2-3 and got beat. Very disappointing. If she fetches that form to Tir Prince tomorrow, she'll get beat. If she fetches a form what she won the North Wales in, she'll be hard to beat. Yeah.
And again, she's got to prove that she stays a mile and a half.
Yes, yeah. I suppose I don't know whether it's one of the favourites would be, I think, She'd Be Stunning, but that's not going to be there, is it? So
no, so I believe.
Unlucky for the Gilveers, but I suppose lucky for everybody else that's in the race.
Yeah, so I think they've shut up shop, haven't they, for the time being?
I believe so. Yes. Yeah. Devastating, really, but in horse racing terms, you spend all this year trying to get ready, and now the big races are here. You've got to shut down. We've all been down that road as trainers, anyhow. So it's just disappointing. But yes. We're looking at this division of the 3-year-olds. I would say, really, if any one of the 7 or any one of the 6 that's left was in the other division, they would be one of the favourites. This seems a lot stronger heat than the first division. It does. There's a lot of classy 3-year-olds in this. Yeah.
And then we've also got the added bonus of the junior Dragon races taking place and Dragon S races taking place on the card tomorrow. It's a wonderful card. All these Group 1s on the one card. You're involved in the second division of the Dragon S with Imperial Attitude. Another filly who comes here on the back of a York success. Yes.
It's a filly I like this. She only seems to just do enough, but she seems real honest, and if she gets beat, she'll get beat because there's a better horse. She won't get beat. She won't lie down anyhow. She'll give her best, and that's all you can ask for.
Yes.
Looking at it, Air Contessa beat Tir Prince, and Welsh was talking about breeding. Air Contessa's out of Air Queen, which has bred so many good horses as well, hasn't she? Majesty, Regal, Empress. It's quite a lot out of that mare as well. So that will be to beat, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're looking forward to a wonderful night's racing at Tir Prince. Last race in the card is the mile and a quarter Group 1 Pacing Classic. A stellar field. I know you're not involved in this, but it's a stellar field for that Pacing Classic, Mick.
Yes, it is. I wouldn't know which to pick. I like Merrington moving up. He was always sort of outshone by Meticulous, you know. He seemed to be, but he seems to be one of them horses that is real professional. He gives what he's got, and he's been going awful good at York. He really has. I think. I suppose you can't take it away neither from Rocky Mambo. If he was disappointing last time he was at Tir Prince, but off his past runs he's been going tremendous. But I do like moving up. You know, I do. It'll be a first trip for Newtown Geordie into that class. She's probably, I would say, if you could drive anywhere in the country in the Stagby Broodmares races, she'd be the one you want. You know, the way she's been going out.
How inconvenient is it going to be for Newtown Jodie from that draw? I know this is a mile and a quarter, but still, she's going to be on the wing going into that start.
Too much for me. If you know, I would say, with all them fast colts on the inside, she's going to have to go backwards. You know, I would have thought so. There'll be no way forward for her. And she could end up 30, 40 yards adrift of Merrington moving up a Rocky Mambo around the first turn.
Is it a difficult start, the mile and a quarter, or is it basically just the same as the mile?
It's just the same as a mile, really. You know,
yeah.
You're as far away from the turn at the mile and a quarter as what you are from the mile start. You know, so.
Mick, do you think there's a case for our stakes races here, like this race, you know, Pacing Classic, for the fillies and mares to have preferential treatment in the draw?
No.
No. You don't think it's like thoroughbred racing where they receive £3 or £5 in the weight for age races?
No. We're for me, we've got the Stagby Broodmares race.
Yeah.
This when we come away from the 3-year-olds, we get to 4-year-olds and upwards. This is the BHRC Pacing Classic. The horse that wins this is possibly one of the best horses in the country. To call yourself a champion, you've got to go straight. Just my opinion.
And what would the difference be? All right, explain to somebody like me who works in thoroughbred racing, what's the difference then between these horses and the thoroughbreds?
Well,
at this level,
we've seen Enable against was it last year when she raced against, which was that good horse of Stout that got beat, something
Crystal Ocean. She got weight. She beat him and came out to champion, but she wasn't. They didn't go straight. 2 horses against each other. If they'd have gone with the same weight and Enable had won, she could have held her head up high. Not that I'm knocking anything away from Enable. They could have held their hands up high and said, "We are the best horse in the country." What they did do was say, "We are the best horse in the country, providing Crystal Ocean gives us a bit of weight." That's just my opinion. A champion's a champion. Shouldn't take any handicaps or anything. A champion's a champion, and it has to be earned. But you know, Admiral Rouse came up with the weight per age scale probably 200 years ago, and it's lasted the test of time, and it's used globally, Mick.
I don't dispute that. I'm not saying that that for betting purposes or anything. That's fine. But in my opinion, if Newtown Jodie wins tomorrow, she's a proper champion.
Yes. Yeah.
If she was drawn one with a preference, then she's a champion with an assist.
Yeah.
As Enable is, and I mean, I think Enable's one of the best horses I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to decry her at all, because she is fantastic, and I enjoy watching her, but she's a champion with assistance.
So next week on the Sulky Show, it's Mick Lord meets John Gosden. But thanks. Excellent. Right, so we're looking forward to a wonderful card, I say, at Tir Prince on Saturday, 6 Group 1s on the card. But your weekend doesn't end there, because the show moves on to Green Hamilton, the local venue for you on Sunday. I just had a quick look through your drives. 2 drives have I got for you on Sunday? Is it 2 drives? Desert Ranger and Royal Ambro?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So tell us about Ranger for Jimmy Winter in the first race at York.
His first race since Musselburgh, I think, last year. Been in 2 qualifiers. He was in a qualifier last week at York, in a workout race at York. Followed Miraculous home. I think Miraculous went 58 and he went 59. If he puts that performance in, he has a big chance. I think the one that he has to beat is Lion's Queen. That's been going good for David Taff.
Yes.
I haven't got the card in front of me at the moment, but I think he's kind of stuck out on a wing, isn't he?
Lion's Queen. Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Whereas Rangers drawn 1. I hope that assistance is good enough. But yeah, I think that's the one. It's quite hot, that race, you know. But I think that would be the one to beat. And I would think that both Desert Ranger and Lion's Queen will be tops in the market.
And then your other drive, Mick, it's behind a colt who I know you think an awful lot of, and that's Royal Ambro in what looks to be a really competitive maiden and novice pace.
Yes, it does. We've had problems with his feet. I think when I look back to last year, it was probably the same problem that we had, and we didn't find it. I just thought it was immaturity last year, and we didn't find anything. And then he'd been training real good this year, and he went to York in a qualifier and qualified real good. And then I think it kind of started from there. It just kind of crept up on him. And when we went to Tir Prince, he just did not race at all. And he came back from there sore. And it was his feet that was bothering. We've had the blacksmith has really done a marvellous job with us, and he's got him back going okay. So Sunday will be his first go back to work, really. He was entered in the Derby tomorrow, and I just thought that it was a step too far for him, or a step too soon, should I say. And I would have liked to really miss this week and go next week, but that would mean him going next week, and then the week after I think it's a Dragon, and the week after that it's the Breeders' Crown. So we're going this week. I thought maybe it would have been an easier race, but it looks really tough to me. So, but is in yeah. Yeah.
Well, you've got a whole host of novices there that have already been on the scorecard this year and have impressed in doing so. There's likes of Art Affection, Conor McGregor, Colford, Wiggle. It really is a tough race. But it's good to see Royal Ambro back, because I remember interviewing you, I think it was about 12 months ago. This horse was at the start of his 2-year-old campaign, and you said, this is a nice horse. I know you felt that he's a nice horse in the making. But a really good card at York, Mick.
Yeah, there is. Yes, yeah.
Very, very good card.
Yeah.
10 competitive races, ending with the top class pace. And it, as I say, it really is. It is a wonderful card to look forward to there. The first race on Sunday is at 5 o'clock.
Mm.
Well, Mick Lord, the Leicester Piggott of harness racing. No Derby this year. You're open to offers, but you've got to.
Yeah, I'm driving all the non-runners there.
Thank you very much. Great insight as well, and thanks for sharing your knowledge, your experience with us on the Sulky show today. Thank you very much, Mick Lord.
Thanks for having me, Darren.